Hello everyone, welcome to Cost According to CD. So guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because the chickens have come home to roast. I know it's to roost. Yeah, so I want to talk about the South African Police Service as well as the Metro Police in Johannesburg in particular, probably all over the country because this is not an isolated issue, in my opinion. I think it's happening everywhere. And who is the cause? Yep, it is the police themselves. And I don't know what your thoughts are going to be regarding the video that I'm going to show you. In fact, I'm going to show you two clips and tell me what are your thoughts, because in my head I'm like, yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. And why I'm saying this is because most of the men and women in blue, they take bribes from illegal foreigners. They take bribes from white powder pushers and dealers and the people that are destroying the future of this country. And then when it comes to the Metro Police, they are the same ones who are supposed to enforce the bylaws. And when it's time for them to start doing their job, and I think the reason why when they do their job, it is because the people did not pay them the so-called protection fee or bribes or whatever the case might be. Now, the thing about complacence, when you are being complacent, is that it comes back to bite you. It really does come back to bite you, whether you know or you participate and you know what you are ignoring or looking away from or you're participating in is wrong. That is bound to come back and bite you, just like these police officers. Let me show you this clip first. Now, I hope that this illegal foreigner is behind bars. You cannot tell me that after this whole thing, these police officers, they packed up and left, and you have a female police officer that has been assaulted for doing her job, and the person is free and walking the streets of this country. Goodness only knows how many women he has done this to, probably at a worst situation. I cannot accept that. I cannot accept that. The thing is, as citizens of the country, we know that we can't lay a finger on any police enforcement agent. We can't. Whether that is a South African police service or it is a Metro Police, even a security guard. Besides that, even with each other, we can't lay a finger on each other. It's a crime. It's a crime. And now with the issue of GBV that we are having in this country, this man had the audacity to lay his dirty fingers on this lady. Forget that she's a police officer, but she's a woman. I hope for the life of us in South Africa, this man is in jail. Here's the second clip.
Wait, don't shout at me. I know. I don't cry. Don't stand on a Virgo.
Now, with this clip, I don't think that the young man that is grabbing the Metro Police officer by his uniform is a foreign national. I think he's just a spoiled brat, a South African spoiled brat. And you can tell with the cars that are parked all around, they were probably doing drag racing. Drag racing in South Africa is illegal. We don't have infrastructure for drag racing. And all the streets and roads of this country are regulated with speed limits and road signs, etc., and so on, especially in a residential area, right? So you can tell these boys they used to do this, or it's something that they do all the time. And I don't believe that the Metro Police did not know there's drag racing in that area, because people that live in that area, some of them, they don't appreciate the noise. So what they would do, they will call in to the Metro Police to say, hey, we are having an issue like this. It's not an isolated thing. And they went there probably to collect bribes. But the boys probably they were like, nah, not this time. And then suddenly he realizes that he's a Metro Police officer and hence is now getting grabbed by his uniform. I'm just thinking here. I'm not saying that's the case, but the way this boy is disrespecting the police officer, you can tell that it's either they're fed up of paying bribes or he's just a spoiled brat. He's just a spoiled brat that disrespects authority. But let's come back to the complacency of our police force in this country. This was bound to happen, where illegal foreigners thinking that because they pay you, they therefore own you. And when somebody believes that they own you, they will remind you, in most cases, through violence. They are going to remind you this way, like how this one is busy on this police officer. These are serious blows that he was blowing at her. Serious blows. And now, who do you blame in a situation like this? Who do you blame? And I'm not condoning that this illegal foreigner doing this to the police officer. I'm just highlighting that you created this problem as the men and women in blue uniform. And it's only you who can fix it because you have that authority. It's enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa to prevent and combat crime. And that also includes people that are illegally in South Africa. Look at the Immigration Act. It's very clear on illegal immigrants. There's even one that was amended just a few weeks ago, which still gives the police the authority to arrest an illegal foreigner and detain them. And then this time around, they are going, I believe they're going to have to be heard by a judge before they are sent back home. They don't want to do that because you have taught them that when I come to you wearing this uniform, you must dig into your pocket and give me a protection fee. Probably even this illegal foreigner was fed up, was like, I'm done. I'm no longer going to be giving you guys any bribes. And hence, you are having this issue. Same thing as well. I bet if you go to Kempton Park, you go to Hillbrow, you go to Yeoville, Berea, downtown Johannesburg, you go to Belleville in Cape Town, you go to Point Street in Durban, you go to Bloemfontein, everywhere in South Africa, you will find these people brazenly standing on the streets. Something that they never used to do before. They used to come out around 5:30 p.m. in the past, and then they will stand in those street corners almost the entire night. This time around, by 5 a.m., they're already on the street. Some of them are even in the taxi rank, bus stations, and train stations, doing what they do to destroy the future of this country. And you're telling me that men in blue and men and women in blue uniform, they don't see this as suspicious because your job as a police officer, when you see suspicious activity, you go and investigate. These people stand in street corners the whole day during working hours. If they say, oh no, I'm doing business and this is my business, you as a police officer, Metro Police officer, your job is to say, okay, I understand. Can you please produce me your business visa? Because they are not allowed to open these sort of businesses, whether it's a hair salon or a club or a liquor store or car dealership. They're not allowed to have these businesses in South Africa. It's there in the Immigration Act. See it, enforce it. But now they stand in street corners and they claim they are doing business. Where is their business visa? Where is that business visa? Show you also the business bank account. Because these are the things that are required when you are going to open a business in South Africa as a foreign national. They tax clearance certificates as well to show that indeed they don't owe taxes to the South African economy. And on top of that, they are paying taxes on top of that. But no, you guys are not doing all of that. They stand in street corners and claim they are doing business. And then when you start doing your job, they remind you that they own you. And then they beat you up. This is wrong. And I hope they are in prison, these illegal foreigners that assaulted a police officer. And now the question I'm asking, after or upon realizing that a fellow police officer and a female on top of that is getting assaulted, what did they do? Because I can tell you, as the sun will shine tomorrow, that had it been a South African, that South African would have been right now with maggots all over. Because they would have had their funeral weeks ago whenever this incident happened. So, what are you afraid of? Why are you treating South Africans differently from those that come from the other side? Is it because you are afraid that you are going to be accused of human rights violations? And yet it is clear what this person was doing. Self-defense. That would have been self-defense. But you are afraid that you are going to be called xenophobic. The international community is going to stand on its feet and then call for sanctions on South Africans because an illegal foreigner assaulted a South African police officer, police woman, a woman. And then you are afraid that you are going to be trending on the international stage for doing your job, protecting the people of South Africa, and also protecting that uniform and its dignity. Come on. So you're the only ones who can fix this. You are the only ones. And I don't understand why they continue to be in street corners, because you know what they're doing there. And you know when you go to them what you take from them. So we are going to be seeing more and more of these kinds of incidents as South African citizens continue to put pressure for them to leave. They are going to be doing this to y'all. Some of them, they are trained, by the way, militarily trained from wherever they come from. Some of them were former child soldiers. They know where to snap. They know where to snap. What do you know? What do you know? Are you prepared? I don't think so. So, guys, just do your job. That's all the South Africans are asking. Do your job so that things like this do not happen. Same goes with Metro Police. You guys have been complacent. And now the chickens have come home to roast on yourselves. And that, guys, I don't know what your thoughts are. Please don't leave the video without liking. Ciao.